Hey, what's going on, Safety Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty. It's very festive in here. Yes, it is. Look at it. So as soon as we ate some turkey, it was time to throw up the old tree right here. Time to get ready in the Christmas spirit. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a great time. Hopefully you hung out with your family, had some fun, and maybe you're just like us, getting ready for the Christmas spirit. All Christmas, best time of the year, in my personal opinion. Up to you how you feel about that, but it's how I feel. I could not wait for us to actually get this stuff up and start getting in the Christmas spirit. Anyway, it's a good, happy day for several reasons. We have several things to celebrate right now. Anybody remember this little company called Kurt's Card Care? Anybody remember those guys? Yeah, it's been a little fiasco in the community for a while about whether the products they use are chemical altering, chemical cleaning, or not. And a lot of people had issues with said product being used on cards, a lot of undisclosed things being applied to your card, and people not really knowing what it was going to be. Well, Kurt's Card Care, if you don't know, they actually specialize in selling product that people can apply to their cards to clean their cards and get them ready for PSA, get them professionally cleaned to hopefully improve your grade with any of these guys, PSA, CGC, BGS, and kick those up. They sell products, they have a website, all that stuff. I've made videos in the past previously about them. This is not a bad faith video at all. This is not me trying to do anything or tell anyone not to use this stuff at all. Everything I wanted and everything I previously discussed about this company and what they use, it has been addressed. Everything has been brought to light. Very recently on their website, they have published something that basically discloses not exactly how much, but what is actually in their cleaning spray and in their polish, and we're going to be looking at that stuff today. So once again, if you go on Kurt Card Care's website, right on their actual card polish and card cleaning, you can actually purchase to buy. They have a little attachment underneath it now called an SDS. Now, an SDS is a safety data sheet. Basically, what that means is if you work in some kind of occupation, an employer has you working somewhere where you're working with possibly hazardous chemicals that could be hazardous to said health or have adverse side effects possibly in any way, whether it's a fire, whether it's for your health or anything like that. They are actually required by OSHA to have a safety data sheet for said product and provide the actual risks, what it's made of, how to treat if you come in contact with this, like gets on your skin, gets on your eyes, you accidentally ingest or something like that. If it's flammable, the properties of it, how you're actually supposed to use it, when not to use it, all that stuff, basically for your safety. And it's supposed to include relatively what the chemical composition of things are and what the hazardous materials are in it. So they actually did this. They put this up, and hey, that's pretty cool. That's a great thing they did right there. They fucking just did it. They were like, hey, we're going to put that. So good for you, Kurt. I'm actually not being mean or facetious at all. I swear to God. Good for you for being OSHA compliant and doing all that stuff, doing everything you need to do for safety and documenting that you were using something chemical on these cards here, okay? Thank you for doing that. That's great. I don't care. I don't care if people choose to use this stuff or not anymore. I absolutely do not give a fuck. If you want to use this stuff on your card, more power to you. I will not be purchasing cards from you if you use this stuff because I still have my beliefs about that. I'm allowed to have my beliefs about the entire thing. However, if you want to do it and your group of friends, your family, and people you associate with want to do that, hey, at least we're now up front with this stuff because not only on this SDS right here, see Kurt's Card Care, the cleaning spray, all that good stuff right there has the signal word for danger, can cause serious eye irritation, may cause drowsiness. Basically stating down here that you should avoid the dust, fumes, gas, and vapors, all that stuff. Wash your hands thoroughly after handling, wear protective gloves, don't swallow it, contact poison control, all that stuff, right? Basically, it's a hazardous material. Well, what's in it that kind of makes it a hazardous material? So they have non-hazardous ingredients up at the top, not classified, and trade secret for the actual percentage of value that they actually put into it, like what percentage is going to be used for each thing. That's a trade secret, just like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. A lot of the same ingredients get used for a lot of the same colas, but the actual ingredients, when they use it, how long they mix it, the percentage of what gets used in it, all that stuff is trade secret that they hold right to their heart, near and dear, baby. That's what makes Coca-Cola and all those other products so damn special. Same thing with this. So you got non-hazardous ingredients. You got isopropanol, which is going to be a primary property of isopropyl alcohol, basically. So that's very much what it is. And I made that claim. I said that's probably what it was made of whenever they actually started putting their stuff out there because they had a disclaimer on their own website that said do not use roughly or do not apply directly to serial numbers or signatures because it is strong enough to remove them. And I made the claim at the time that like thinners, strippers, and alcohols were able to do that, which was the main reason I was like, hey, this is some kind of chemical application you're putting to your cards. Whether you don't think it's altering or cleaning, whatever the hell you want, you are applying some chemical to this card in order to clean it better than some kind of water. And before people in the comments go like, well, water is a chemical composition too. All right, Poindexter, I fucking get it. alcohol is a little bit different than water, okay? It really is, okay? We're not here to fucking argue water versus alcohol. Like, it's definitely in there. There's not a fucking SDS in my fucking, at least as far as I know, just for basic ass water, okay? But there is for this stuff. You got ethanol denatured. So basically what denatured means, because some people are going to think that it means like it's less potent or something like that. Absolutely not. You know how like Nintendo Switch cartridges have like a taste to them to keep kids from chomping on like their sour cream and onion chips? Basically denatured ethanol, like denatured means that it's added something outside of it to denature the properties of ethanol to make it have a taste that is pungent so people don't try to eat it. Otherwise, I believe ethanol doesn't really have like a taste to it. And it's the same with like propane and things like that too. The smell you smell with propane is something they add to it directly to give you indication that it is leaking and there is an actual gas leak for propane. Other than that, I believe it's odorless to my knowledge. And then proprietary detergents and preservatives, not classified, trade secrets. So there is some other stuff in this actual product they're not telling us, but hey, they told us enough, and we can now, there is zero argument anymore that you were applying some kind of chemical to your card. And look, I don't care. You are more than welcome to. If I hope Kurt's business is great. I hope he prospers. I hope he makes a ton of money off different people in this fucking card space. Go for it, big dog. The argument no longer exists anymore. You are applying some level of chemical to your card to clean it, and that is something that the grading companies do not like as of current. PSA, if they do detect this stuff, they do give you a separate pedigree to it where it's like altered, authenticated, authentic altered or something like that, where they determine, yeah, there was something added to this card in nature. They are against the chemical compounds being put on their cards to clean them. They do not like that for the long-term effects of said card. PSA does not want to be held responsible for that as a business. You can't really blame them for that. But hey, right here, hey, no worries, man. I'm glad you were compliant with this. I'm glad you put this information out. I'm glad we don't got to argue about this anymore. There's just more stuff for the SDS right here, basically. The specific hazards arising from mixture, carbon oxides, nitrous oxides, you know, normal stuff. In fairness and to play, once again, good faith. This whole video is good faith. I'm not trying to do anything. Basically, what you're looking at here is your standard run-of-the-mill, just like nail polish remover, something that would have like a whole bunch of alcohol in it. So like hand sanitizer and stuff like that also has a bunch of like isopropyl alcohol in it as well in order to clean your hands. Like there's a good chunk of them do that stuff too. Like permanent marker and things like that. If you ever get permanent marker on something, you can actually get a little bit of hand sanitizer. The alcohol content that is in it is strong enough to fucking get your signatures and all that stuff off of things if you wrote it in a permanent marker. If you put on like plastic or like something like that where it can actually come off, it is actually strong enough to do so. That's why I'm familiar with it. I also work with this stuff, a lot of these chemicals and things like that for my everyday job. And it is actually also my job now to look at SDSs and know what they mean and how to determine if they are being utilized properly and the information on them is accurate per the actual stuff that is being put on shelves. So I do have a good bit of experience when it comes to looking at this stuff. And hey, I'm just glad you did that stuff. I've got nothing negative to say about this at all. Good for you, big dog. I'm not using this shit, okay? There is no way in hell I'm throwing this stuff on my cards. One of the things to add too is because it is an alcohol, it is a little bit flammable. It is liquid, colorless, alcohol-like for the odor. Yes, because it is a lot of alcohol. I would bet the primary ingredient in it is a good little bit of alcohol mixed with some of those non-hazardous materials there. I bet those are your two prime ingredients that are thrown in there. It does seem to be flammable, you know, avoid heat, flame, sparks, all that stuff, just like alcohol would be. That's the whole thing with that. And of course, respiratory protection as needed, aerosol or mist. This is normal stuff. A lot of the things you use for the household that contain chemicals or stuff like that, such as cleaners or hairsprays, detergents, things like that. Just because they're made for cleaning and things like that does not mean that they are not some kind of chemical being applied to something right there. When mixed with water, has mixture, blah, 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 blah. Do whatever you will. Keep away from ignition sources. Hey, good for you, Kurt. That's great. I'm glad the argument is answered right here. So, and me, personally, I'm probably not going to talk about Kurt's card care anymore. I have zero issue with anything that's happening with this shit now because all the information that you need is in your face. You know what this stuff is being... It's like getting mad at someone who uses fucking tobacco products. They have the information at their disposal. If they wish to use it or not, that's completely on them. They're more than welcome to, but the information out there does exist. Same with Kurt's card care. If you want to throw this crap on your cards, hey, you're taking that risk amongst yourself. You're doing that thing. My worry still is that people will apply this stuff to their cards and not disclose they actually applied to said cards, and then the burden of responsibility for that stuff can fucking shift to somebody else. That's always been my issue with this whole thing, is disclosure of this. And hey, Kurt he's disclosing this entire thing. He's laying out everything that it is, and he has an SDS for not only his spray, but he has it for his polish too. I have both of these saved right here in case like changes or something happen or anything. So hey, Good for that. Good for you. Once again, you have the information. You do what you will with this. You apply what you want to your cards. You do what you want with your personal collection. I have my beliefs. I know what I'm going to do with my cards, and I know what I'm going to buy and who I'm going to buy from based off of this stuff right here. You're your own person. You do what you want. You do what you need to do. Just remember, this is not up for debate anymore. There is fucking SDSs that exist for this stuff, where it is basically saying, yes, there's chemical compounds that exist in this product right here that, while they're not necessarily super hazardous to you, hazards do exist, and there are chemicals in there besides just non-hazardous materials, okay? This exists because there is some hazardous material in that, and that's this public information. There's a public document. You can look all this stuff up yourself. There is not me going out and just finding stuff that doesn't exist previously elsewhere. No one get their fucking panties in a twist, okay? I just want people to know that this stuff is a chemical being applied to your cards. It is some form of chemical altering or chemical cleaning. I don't fucking care what you call it. But the argument is done. There is no longer anything to discuss about this. The information exists. You are free to do what you will with it. If you are someone who truly believes this is a better move for the card community and you're going to use this regardless of anything else, hey, more power to you, big dog. You're more than welcome to do it. And hey, you do you. You support what you want to do. You put stuff on your cards. I would really appreciate if you disclose that you did so. But once again, there's nothing that really makes you do it. So what the fuck am I going to do that whole thing? That's just how I feel about it. I know how I feel. Just the argument's done. No more talking about this. No more wondering for chemicals or anything like that. And hey, I mean, you basically have what Homeboy is making for the actual spray right there. Try a couple mixtures yourself, maybe. Look at that right there. Maybe you'll get the new splooge to throw on cards or stuff like that. Maybe you'll get the new way to clean cards. Hey, business and all that stuff, actual competition might be getting thrown around. But hey, OSHA compliance, it's a great thing. Good job, Kurt. I'm not going to take that away from you. Thank you for putting all the information out there. Thanks for stopping this argument. And hey, you are now more than welcome to partake in whatever you want in this hobby and do what you will. I still have my feelings about it. I will always tell people I don't recommend it personally, but I can't stop you, nor am I going to dislike somebody if they apply this shit to their cards. Whenever all the information is out there for it, there is just now no argument anymore of what this stuff is. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin Gang. See you later. Oh, I'm glad 2 years later. For all the people who was telling me this is not like chemicals or anything like that, I mean, I'm not saying you owe me an apology or anything. I'm not saying you owe me like oh, I'm sorry, Opossum, you were right about this stuff the whole time. Hey, no biggie. I'm here. Hey, it's okay. I'll just be the bigger person about that, and I'll just take it as okay. I'm glad this is over. No more talking about Kurt's card splooge.